And we are live. Welcome into the Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast morning show for Monday, December 12th, 2022. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleman Gaming. Burley, are you awake?
Yes, I am awake.
Heard you woke up a lot last night. That's what you were saying.
No, yes, and we got Fubu in the chat already. He said, "Oh my God, right on time, even before the show starts." What about it, Fubu? Well, I heard I was the only one that had problems sleeping last night.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like about 4:30 in the morning. My external hard disks for my Xbox Series X just turned on for some reason, and then about 10 minutes later they turned off automatically. Didn't even touch it. So yeah. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Maybe I have ghosts in my mansion. Who knows?
Or call Luigi.
Yeah. Burley, you're a football fan, right?
Yes. The NFL, yes.
Yes. And Fubu, I am not talking about football as in soccer football. I'm talking about the National Football League. Of course, us Americans, we love our American football. And of course, I'm originally from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm from San Francisco. My hometown team, the San Francisco 49ers. Got to talk about them, Burley.
Okay.
And I just have to. I mean, yeah, I know this is a gaming news show, but I'm gonna go on a little rant here about my 49ers. Because, yeah, they won again today. And they beat the GOAT, Tom Brady. Tom Brady. The thing about the 49ers, Burley, is they've had a lot of adversity this year. I mean, they had a second-year quarterback that they drafted number one overall. Not overall, but their number one draft pick. And he was going to take over the team this year, Trey Lance. And then, of course, he breaks his leg, out for the season.
Yeah.
After the second game. I think it was the second or third game of the year.
Yep.
And then they bring back Jimmy Garoppolo, and there was kind of a like a quarterback controversy. It's like Garoppolo's, they're going to have to try to trade him or something because Trey Lance is, it's a Trey Lance era starting and all. And Jimmy comes back when Trey Lance goes down, and he just, he had taken them to the Super Bowl a couple of years before. He took him to the championship game last year. And he comes back and he's playing lights out, and then last week he breaks his foot.
Oh.
And so then we go to the third round, or the third string quarterback. Now, this is the cool thing about this. Brock Purdy was, in this past year's draft, the very last pick in the NFL draft. And you know what they call the very last pick, Burley, in the NFL draft? They are called Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep.
Because most likely the 262nd pick in the draft is never going to play it down in the NFL, right? Well, Brock Purdy comes in, and I mean, he came in last week, obviously, after Garoppolo broke his foot, played pretty well. But he comes into this game against the GOAT, against Tom Brady. Tom Brady and the Buccaneers come to Levi Stadium. And what's funny about it? Tom Brady was 7-0 against a quarterback that was making their first career start. Rookie that makes their first career start. Brock Purdy today, he played pretty good. They won 35-7. And can you just imagine if Mr. Irrelevant goes the rest of the way and takes the 49ers to the Super Bowl and wins the Super Bowl?
Oh, that'd be hilarious. We got Fubu in the chat saying, "I know you're speaking English, but it's gibberish for me."
Yeah, well, yeah, but coming from a true football fan, Fubu, yeah. But yeah, so I think this is a huge story that's building. I would just love to see, Brock Purdy take the Niners and win the Super Bowl. I mean, that would just be amazing. Mr. Irrelevant, being drafted 262nd overall, and then he comes in because of the injuries to Trey Lance and Garoppolo and takes him all the way to the Super Bowl. That would be amazing. So anyway, so enough of football, Burley. I know you're just sitting there all quiet and everything. These Canadians, the Canadian Football League.
Oh, we don't have
you and your Doug Fluties.
No, we don't have a football league. I've never watched a game of CFL. Like the rules are like I've heard the rules and stuff. Yeah. Like this is just stupid. I'd watch the NFL any day of the CFL.
Okay.
Like you'd have to pay me a lot of money to watch a CFL game.
Okay. Well, anyway, in this morning show, we're going to talk about the Game Awards a little bit again, and then we're going to talk about Microsoft because there's been a lot of people in the media and stuff talking about how Microsoft was a no-show at the Game Awards. So what are they going to do? What do they got to show? We're going to talk about that. So, but first, Burley, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about the Game Awards. Okay.
Alrighty.
So, yeah, for some of you who might not have gone and checked out here on the YouTube channel, obviously Burley and Carl and Fryman14, they did a live, of course, reaction, and that video is up. You can go and check out the entire Game Awards where they did live reactions.
If you've got 3.5 hours.
If you have 3.5 hours in your life that you want to not be irrelevant, right?
You saw the 3 hours of that. Thank you, Fubu. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like it's meant to, if you've got a long shift and you just need something to take your mind off stuff, please watch it.
There you go.
But we understand if people skim through on that one because it was a long event.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a long event, and obviously I had to watch it, Burley, because I did the editing afterwards. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then, of course, the episode 115 of the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast, which we just recorded this past Saturday.
Hi, Take.
Hey, Take. Hey, welcome on in, man. So, we recorded that on Saturday, and it's now up on the channel. You can go and watch that. It's not as long. Thank goodness. It's only about an hour and a half, hour and 50 minutes, 45 minutes or so. Yep. But we talk about the Game Awards and everything there too. But Burley, let's talk about the Game Awards, and I'm going to go ahead and play that compilation that we did show during the podcast. But of all the games that were, pretty much all the games that were announced. So I'm going to get to that here in a second. So Burley, what are your initial overall thoughts of the Game Awards 2022?
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun doing it with Carl and Fryman. I want to first state that. But this thing, it seemed overall as a well put together show. But the problem is they did not stick. Like they start off strong, but then when they had people started to derail the event, they just they kind of just stood there like with their hands on their face, like. What do we do? What do we do? Yeah. We're paying Pacino to go just ramble here. Christopher Judd is going well over his time.
Yeah.
Even though we put on the teleprompter, like, wrap this up, he went another 4 to 5 minutes after that. Like,
yeah.
So, and the thing that I kind of just, another negative for it, was just like, they're allowing all these, like, celebrities that have nothing to do with gaming. A lot of that, like Al Pacino even said, never played games,
right,
and stuff like that. I watch my kids. They're bringing them in there to get name recognition. So you'd be like, "Oh, Pacino was there last year.
Yeah,
who's gonna come next year? I gotta watch next year to see who comes out."
Well, I mean, if they're gonna get big name like actors, get someone like Henry Cavill because he's a big time gamer. Get Anthony Rapp, who's on Star Trek Discovery. He's a big time gamer. People that are actually gamers, get them on stage. Get those type of people there. Al Pacino, it's great to have him there, but he doesn't play games. I mean, his grandchildren play. Go ahead. You were going to say.
Well, yeah, that I agree with you. Like Henry Cavill's definitely a good one to have. Good morning, Dark Fairy in the chat.
Hey, Dark Fairy. Welcome on in.
They care more about name recognition. They want the name recognition, where Al Pacino is such a household name.
Yeah.
So that's what people are going to go for.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
like a lot of the stuff announced, I has got me very excited. Like this Among Us we just saw there, that Among Us mode. I can't wait to try that. I do need to
Yeah.
sit to try it. Some of these games are like, ooh, I'm gonna buy this, or I can't wait to see more of this. Like that Viewfinder, I did not expect that game.
Yeah.
That's a game I'm really looking forward to seeing.
Yeah, the game Replaced too. I really like the art style and everything in that game, the pixelation and all. But I mean, just let's get back to, like the game trailers, Burley. I mean, show us gameplay, not just a cinematic trailer. I mean,
Yeah.
we talked about that on the podcast where it's getting to the point where they're only showing cinematic trailers because, they want all the hype and everything. And of course, you have all the sponsorships and all. But I mean, us gamers, we don't really care so much for the cinematic trailer as we do the gameplay. So
Oh yeah.
we want to see more of a gameplay trailer rather than a cinematic trailer. And that's the thing about these big shows. Even E3 is like this as well. It gets a little bit carried away with just cinematic trailers where we don't get any gameplay. For example, the Suicide Squad game there. I mean, they've showed so many cinematic trailers and we haven't had any gameplay from it really. I mean,
well, this one
just a little bit, yeah.
That Suicide Squad trailer. You know what that was all about? It was
Kevin Conroy, yeah, because Kevin Conroy passed
away, and
right.
they're using
Here
that.
you are,
they're
right
using,
here, yeah.
They're using his name,
right,
bringing him out there to market that game to help sell it.
Yeah,
especially with how Gotham. I know Rocksteady didn't do Gotham Knights, but with how Gotham Knights turned out, they are using anything right now to help them.
Right.
And Dark Fairy brings up the Diablo 4. Yep, Diablo 4. And Diablo 4 earlier that day had launched gameplay footage. You could have given me just a little bit, like at least Star Wars here, showing gameplay.
That's right.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
Like I'm not asking the whole trailer I need a 10-minute breakdown of gameplay.
Exactly.
You give me a good 2-minute trailer. You give me 30 seconds of gameplay. Around 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Diablo. I don't understand that. It's like we had just gotten like a gameplay trailer earlier on, and just a couple of months before that, they had come out. I think it was GameSpot. I think it was that came out with a video on the gameplay and some of the various things about it. And they can't show that at the Game Awards. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah.
And Fubu, honestly, the most memorable trailer for me was the Star Wars one. Star Wars one. That was such a great one. The Forspoken one was memorable because of the demo coming out that has come out. And now people, after I deleted it, now people have found, because they were experimenting button mashing, the tutorials in the demo don't tell you, oh no, you can do this, this, and that. And it's like, you got to be kidding me that the game's own demo, because it does have quite a bit of tutorials for combat and stuff, couldn't tell you that, oh, you do have the ability to do this, and interact with this.
Yeah.
So it was like they've lost my sale already, and it's just like, if you can't even be bothered to teach me the mechanics on your game in a demo a month before the game comes out, it's like, seriously?
Yeah. So anyway, game of the year, Elden Ring. No surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, I think of all the Game Awards that I've watched, that's probably the game that was probably the least surprising of any of the awards winners. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And and then of course what happened at the end, we're not going to get into that again. I mean, you can watch the 3-hour video and see,
or you can watch the short we have too,
or the short. Yeah. I made it short,
which is like what, 40 seconds or something like that. So.
Yeah, it's like 30 seconds of your reaction and Carl and Fryman's reaction stuff. But anyway, hats off to Elden Ring, and Miyazaki-san, he's saying that there's more to come. There's a DLC that's probably imminent for Elden Ring, as well as new games that are going to be coming down the pipeline. So, and there'll be Dark Souls type of games. There'll be Souls types. Yeah. So I'm sure, but
well, that Transformers one that we just got there tells you nothing. Transformers reacted. It was like, seriously, you can't even be bothered to put anything.
Yeah.
It's like
Behemoth.
The CGI trailer. Like,
well, that shot there reminds me of what was it? The Eternals. Remember, the hand sticking up, at the end there, when they destroyed the. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, we got a lot of reveals and a lot of trailers and everything, but overall, I mean, one thing that they've definitely got to fix is the amount of time that some of these people are up accepting awards. I mean, they might have to start cutting it out and just having 3 or 4 awards where people go up there and accept them, and just do videos like of them accepting the award before the show or something, and then of course the security, obviously, with what happened at the end, they really have to fix that. They're going to have some security posted, like, on stage or something, kind of out of sight, just to make sure that somebody doesn't go up on stage again. But
so, well, that I'm sure they'll do that. They'll work on security. They're definitely going to do that. But one thing is, like, they do some of the smaller awards in the pre-show, and we did a lot. We covered a good chunk of the pre-show. We missed like the first bit because we were just getting ready, and we decided at the last minute, all 3 of us were like, we'll just do it. We're here anyways. Record it. But it's like
Armor Core. Yep, there you go.
Armor Core software.
They
went. The pacing was really off with the awards, because you would go to award, and it should be like, a couple trailers that kind of are relevant to the next award or whatever, and then, but sometimes you waited like almost an hour before the next award. Like at one point, I think it was like we clocked, I think it was like 45 to 50 minutes between awards. It was like, okay, this is just getting like, you guys are drawing this out.
Yeah, for sure. So before we get into the story about Microsoft, Burley, what have you been playing this past weekend? What did you play?
I played. I streamed yesterday a lot of God of War. So Ragnarok, I've had a lot of fun with that. I'm going to be streaming that today because I'm off work. Playing a lot of that. I played a little bit of Dragon Quest Treasures and some Last of Us.
What do we got in the chat, Burley?
Dark Fairy saying, I've seen so many trailers back in the day that isn't gameplay and they look awesome to play, but when you finally play it wasn't the same. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm sick of the CG trailers, because they'll show you one thing, then the game is something so different.
Well, I've been playing Callisto Protocol. Put a few more hours into it yesterday. And there's just one general pet peeve I have about the game that I also had back in the day when I played Dead Space. So like you're running around these corridors and everything, and you find like some kind of energy cell and you want to pick it up, but then it says your inventory is full. And so then you have to go to find one of those storefront things, and then you have to sell it so that you can pick it. You have to sell something so you can pick up that that power cell somewhere else. It's just real time consuming, man. It's like,
or you're dropping and be like, do I really need the ammo for this gun? I remember doing that with Dead Space 1 and 2 all the time.
It's the same in Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, but that's unfortunately the trapping with all those survival horror games like Resident Evil. I've had that so many times in those games.
So I mean, it's just it's like there was a new type of weapon, but I didn't have enough space in my inventory to put it in, so I had to run all the way back to that storefront shop thing and then sell a few things, and then go back, which took an extra 5 minutes or so to pick up the weapon schematic, and then go back all the way back to the storefront deal to be able to get the schematic made, and so that I could actually print out the weapon I wanted. So yeah, it's time consuming. So that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. Yeah.
No.
Dark Fairy says still need to finish God of War. I see.
Yep. And
God of War, great game.
Yep. Been playing Last of Us Part 2, Journey to the Savage Planet on PS4 and Xbox.
Cool. Last of Us Part 2. Who do you like? Ellie or what's her name again? Burley.
Abby.
The other Abby. Yeah. So let me know. Yeah. Abby or Ellie. So yeah, I mean, Last of Us 2 is a great game as well. So yeah. But all right, let's go ahead and talk about this story, Burley. So I'm gonna go ahead and
she says Ellie.
Ellie. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, here's our story for tonight, or this morning for all of you out in the West. Tonight for me here in Japan, and for Take, if you're still here. Yoroshiku ne. Microsoft might be planning an Xbox event for Q1 2023. So the reason I want to talk about this story is because obviously, all these media outlets, like IGN and everywhere else, you have some of the journalists there that are, covering Xbox and everything. And they're like, they didn't show anything, why didn't they show anything at the Game Awards, and, a lot of them were upset because, 2022 hasn't been a great year for Xbox when it comes to, AAA exclusives for them. Burley in the chat, Fuba says, well, Fairy, it's an unfair world.
Yeah, because she's like, she does feel bad for Abby. Yeah. Ellie is Fuba's girl. Yeah.
So anyway, the thing is, you have, a lot of AAA exclusives that are coming down the pipeline, but, I just think that Microsoft is kind of holding off, and most likely they're going to have some kind of an event soon. And so I'm going to read a little bit of this article here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the link, all of you viewers. This is from gamingbold.com. Microsoft might be planning an Xbox event for Q1 2023. So Microsoft had a largely disappointing 2022, with the year having seen next to no major new first-party Xbox releases. The fact that the company had practically nothing to show at the recent Game Awards has only added to the disappointment, especially given the fact that the likes of Forza Motorsport, Redfall, and Starfield are all due out in 2023. It seems, however, that we might be seeing something from Xbox in the not-too-distant future. So, our friend over at Windows Central, Jez Gordon, was saying that he's heard tentative but at the moment unverifiable rumors that Microsoft is planning an event in Q1 of 2023, which will allegedly be similar in nature to previous XO events, the last of which happened before the pandemic in 2019, and could feature new announcements and updates on upcoming titles. And also Aaron Greenberg, Xbox exec, said amidst widespread disappointment over Microsoft's no-show at the Game Awards that the company had, quote, a lot planned to show and share about an incredibly exciting year ahead for 2023, end quote. And the fans wouldn't have to wait, quote, wait too long. They wouldn't have to wait too long to get more details on that front. So, Burley, what do you think? Do you think maybe January, February, Xbox is going to have a kind of an XO or some similar type of event?
Oh, yeah. We knew, like, because they were quiet at the Game Awards, they were eventually they're gonna have to have an event. They were just saving their stuff. They don't want to show. They have nothing they want to show, and I'm hoping they just didn't want to show, the same CGI trailers again.
Yeah.
They want to show some gameplay and stuff. So I figure early next year, you start off the year right, get a little showcase going.
Yeah.
Drop a video, however you want to do it, and just show some stuff for Starfield, Redfall, and all your other games that you've got. And you only really, in my opinion, just show the ones that actually are ready to be shown.
Yeah, I think they're going to start doing something similar to what Sony does with State of Play and what Nintendo does with their directs, but focus particularly on one specific game that's coming out soon. So whatever AAA exclusive is coming up first, whether it's Redfall or, whether it's going to be Starfield, focus on that particular game, like for 30 minutes or something, and then give the release date. Yeah. So, yeah, because I mean, we still don't have a release date yet on Starfield. And of course, obviously, we haven't gotten any kind of release window yet on Fable or, for example, the Perfect Dark, Hellblade 2. Still, we haven't gotten a release date on that yet as well. So, yeah, we should be getting some kind of event soon, I think. So, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I do see the stuff in the chat. Yeah, that is a sad little gameplay thing with Last of Us 2. I just don't want to.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Yeah.
Don't spoil anything. Yeah. So I mean, it's a great game. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. I don't like to throw spoilers out there. So,
but the spoilers. Ghost is better. Ghost Tsushima is better. I know you're so.
Take, if you're out there, man, Burley was Zinzin Wakanai. Yeah. Last of Us Part 2 is a better game, believe me. I think that's just me. I mean, yeah, but yeah.
All right.
I mean, I can tell you right now. I mean, Ghost of Tsushima, it's a great game, but it's historically inaccurate. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. Well, they're always going to be inaccuracy. It's that stuff like that.
Oh, obviously. Yeah. But it's pretty blatant, though. I mean, it's like the game is like set in the 12th century, or actually 13th century, right? But yeah. I mean, everything about the game is like, Edo period, like 16th century and on, 17th century. So, yeah. But yeah, that's just, I won't get into that, but anyway.
It's a better Assassin's Creed game than a lot of the last couple.
Well, but it's not an Assassin's Creed game, but it plays like an Assassin's Creed game, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So I think that's going to do it for this edition of the morning show. I mean, the thing is, Burley, I mean, this is the last week. I just want to let everybody know some programming notes here. This is the last week of the morning show before the winter holiday break. Of course, episode 116 of the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast. We will be recording that this coming Saturday, and that will also be the last weekly podcast episode until the winter break is over. We're going to be taking a winter break through Christmas and New Year's, and we'll be coming back in early January. So the first weekly episode podcast in the new year will be January 7th, I think it is, on Saturday, January 7th. And then the following Monday, we will come back for the morning show again. But I mean, from between now and then, there's probably not going to be many major news stories to come out. So you might hear expat talk a lot about the National Football League or something like that, and Burley can talk about the CFL and how he hates it. So.
Oh, I'm gonna miss you guys in the morning. Yeah, we'll be back. We will be back with the morning show early next year. But there is the rumor, a trailer I was hoping to see in the Game Awards that is going to be coming, because we're supposed to get a Spider-Verse trailer tomorrow. There's rumors we're supposed to get a Spider-Man 2 game trailer.
Nice.
Because apparently it's now up in the UK. It's available to be wishlisted on the PlayStation Network. And that is a game like Insomniac already has my money. They're one of my favorite developers anyways. Like with what they did with the first game, Miles Morales, it's like, okay, you have my money on that. Thank you, Fubu and Dark Fairy. We really do appreciate that.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing about the Arena Productions. It's like, we have tons of content here, and we put out a lot of content during the year, and I just want to give us a rest at the end of the year. I think we deserve it, and so, especially Christmas and New Year's, it's a time of year where we should be spending time more with family and personal, doing, things for ourselves and with our families and stuff like that, and taking care of those things. So, and we'll be back in January. So, and of course, we've got tons of content on the show and on our Patreon as well at patreon.com/thearena_podcast. You can go check out our Patreon, where you can get, of course, a lot of our content ad free, and some of our content is early and exclusive as well. Like our post shows that we do for the weekly podcast when recorded. Yeah, it goes up only to patrons. So go and check that out as well. But there's a ton of content here on the Arena production, so that should keep you busy until we come back in January. But
and we will be. We've got one extra take. We've got footage for that we'll be recording soon.
Yeah, we're going to be doing our extra take on Pokemon Violet. So we'll be doing that. And then, of course, January is going to be huge. It's going to get busy in January. We got The Last of Us, the HBO Max, series. We're going to be doing weekly episodes on that. Of course, for Star Trek, Star Trek Picard starts in February. We're going to be covering that. Star Wars: The Mandalorian Season 3 starts March 1st. We're going to be covering that. So lots and lots of content next year, of course, with our fantasy show, The Witcher Season 3. We're going to be covering that as well. So lots of stuff coming down the pipeline, as well as, of course, our gaming, of course, the weekly podcast, the morning show, extra takes, the post show when recorded. So, tons of stuff, and we're going to be pretty busy doing that. So, we're looking forward to bringing you all the content and everything. So, and for all of you that are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that like and the subscribe and the notification bell for when we drop a new episode, so that you'll be notified of that. So we really appreciate all of your support and all of your viewership here on the Arena Productions. Thank you so much. All right. So I think that's going to do it. Burley, do you have any last words?
Just thank you to everyone in the chat watching this live, and anyone watching this on video, the video version after.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Love to see your comments.
Yeah.
And just hope everyone has an awesome day.
Yeah. So this will obviously, I will be editing this afterwards, and it will go up to the Arena Gaming News Morning Show playlist. So if you want to check it out later. So it'll be the edited version. So, all right, Burley, that's going to be it. So want to thank, of course, Fubu for coming on in. Dark Fairy, thank you so much for coming on in. Take, thank you so much for coming in. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate all of you. And, of course, all of you watching later on, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. So that's going to do it for us for the Monday edition. We hope to catch you again tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of the Arena Multi-Platform Gaming News Podcast Morning Show. So I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley of Burleyman Gaming. We hope to catch you tomorrow. So take care, everyone. Peace.
Take care, everyone.